Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese.
And I'm your co-host, Andrea Carter.
And if you did not know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and northern Kentucky area. How's it going, Andrea?
It's going fine, John. It's a happy week. It's we're about to start the baseball season. Yay.
Yeah,
My March Madness bracket is broken. Oh, it's so broken.
as is everyone's, I assume.
Oh, well, let's put it like this. Mine was broken when Kentucky lost. I
Yeah, I
was
heard about that. That was surprising.
I had them going all the way. So you know my bracket was broken.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, but I will say this, at least 50% of my guesses were correct. So I'm
Okay.
happy about that. But there were a number of upsets in there's been some great basketball that's being played. That's the reason why I love March Madness so much, because you see the heart and the soul of what the game is really supposed to be without dollar signs. And there's some great basketball just being played. So, and especially I've heard a lot of men are watching men's, but they're watching women's basketball more because they're seeing some things going on in the women's basketball games that they're not seeing in the men's basketball game. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting. So it's a good toss up this year in terms of who's playing who and what you're seeing on the court. So
Yeah, okay.
that's one good thing.
So what's some of the chocolate news of the week? Because it's
Well,
it's been quite a week so
it has
far.
been quite a week, and I'm going to start off saying, welcome the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority in the Great Lakes region. They are attending the 93rd regional conference here in Cincinnati at the Duke Energy Center. Unfortunately, their conference is starting on the same day as opening day.
Wow.
So you're going to have a lot of people don't understand opening day in Cincinnati until you experience it. So it's going to be interesting to see what the reaction is going to be once they realize what's going to happen, what's happening, and why the roads are closed, and all this type of stuff. And but it's going to be a great regional conference. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary. Local chapter Sigma Mega chapter is the host of the regional conference, and they are also celebrating their 100th anniversary. But their celebration is going to happen in June, so you hear about more about that later. But anyway, the rest of the chocolate news has been a really intriguing week. Unfortunately, it has been we've been impacted. The area has been impacted by two death. No, I should say two local deaths and one national death. First off, everyone heard about Hamilton County Auditor Brigid Kelly. She resigned last week out of the blue. We saw County Commissioner Denise Driehaus crying, sniffling over her dear friend who had to resign. She had been diagnosed with esophageal cancer about 2 years ago, and unfortunately, Brigid Kelly died Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night, and it came as a surprise because we knew that when she announced her resignation, she would automatically go into hospice. But I don't think anyone expected her to go this quickly.
Mm.
And all I can say is that Brigid Kelly was a wonderful. She was a state rep. She served on the Norwood Council. She did a lot for the people. Personally, for me, she helped me during COVID when I was caring for my mother, and she was in a nursing home during COVID. Well, right at the beginning of COVID, and they shut the nursing homes down. Well, I shouldn't say they closed the nursing homes to families where you couldn't get in to see your loved one. And I went to everyone for help to get back into the nursing homes because my mother had suffered a stroke that left her unable to move and speak. And when you don't have an advocate, how do you know what your needs are being met? And Brigid helped me. She had an ear of the people who were making those decisions. She mentored me through that situation. I did an interview on with Curtis Fuller about the whole situation. She helped to make sure that people in Columbus saw that interview and the concern. And then they had other people speaking about concerns about why not being able to get back into the nursing home, especially for hospice patients. And my mother was a hospice patient. 5 days after that occurred, we were able to get back into the nursing homes. So, and I credit Brigid Kelly for that. And I will forever be thankful. Not only she and I, we had great conversations every once in a while, but she believed in doing for the people. So she will be sorely missed by the Cincinnati region.
I just wanted to add, she was only 40 years old too, which is
I
really sad.
know that she was so young.
I know.
That it's just unreal. And then another loss to the area is Mark Mitchell. I don't know if they determined what he died of yet, but everyone knows him as the former Taft basketball coach who helped them to win their first state championship. And then he went on to become an assistant coach with the women's basketball team at Ohio State. He moved on to another team as well. And then he ended up back here, I believe, as a basketball coach. And his death came sudden. I mean, all over Facebook, you just saw the pouring of love for him as a coach, as a father, as a just as a true gentleman and a care of kids and their ability to see success. So he will be truly, truly missed.
Mhm.
And then tonight, just as we were getting ready to record, Joe Lieberman, the former running mate to Al Gore in the 2000 presidential election, he has died. He was only 82. And if you remember, Joe Lieberman was Al Gore's running mate, and that was the presidential election where they ended up in court battling over who won and arguing over hanging chads, which prompted the change on how people vote in elections because of that whole election. So, and Joe Lieberman was part of that. He was very liberal. He was very progressive in thought. He did a lot for the people. He was also the first Jewish candidate to run for a national election. So
Mm.
all three will be sorely missed. All of them have left an impact in the region or on nationally. And I think when we look back on these three individuals, history wise, their impact will be felt for a very long time in their own way.
Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting to see the successes that they were able to do for other people and how that will be paid forward in the future based on what they've done for the country and for the greater Cincinnati region. So they will all be truly, truly missed.
Yes.
Now, I think the most salacious, unbelievable, oh my God story that we've heard this week is that the homes of P. Diddy in Miami and in Los Angeles were raided by Homeland Security. And when you read this story, you can't believe what P. Diddy's being accused of. He's being accused of sex trafficking, drug trafficking, possibly molesting people. Now, he has not been charged with anything. Any of his family members have not been charged with anything. He still has his passport and he can travel freely throughout the United States. But a couple of things have occurred since Homeland had raided his home. One, an alleged associate of his, Brendan Paul, was arrested when Diddy's plane in a Miami executive airport was delayed. And not he was arrested not related to Diddy, but he had on him drug paraphernalia and drugs. So he was arrested. The federal authorities took him into custody. But according to a lawsuit, which is all stemming from that was filed back in, I believe, February by Rodney Jones. Let me get it straight. Also known as Little Rod. His lawsuit accuses this Brendan Paul of being P. Diddy's drug mule. And so allegedly, this young man who played for Syracuse University on the basketball team.
Hmm.
Yes, for 2 years, is kind of like a part of Diddy's entourage, and he's been known to, according to the lawsuit, he has been known to whatever Diddy wanted or traffic it or taken wherever in the world. This young man was supposed to have done it. Now, according to this lawsuit that was filed in February, Mr. Jones added 25 pages to that lawsuit, I believe either yesterday or today. And within that 25 pages, he's now implicated Young Miami, also being involved in the drug trafficking. He has accused her of transporting drugs on behalf of P. Diddy. According to the lawsuit, P. Diddy is known to like pink cocaine. I didn't know there was such a thing as pink cocaine,
Pink
but he
cocaine.
pink cocaine.
Do you just put
And
food coloring on cocaine and pink cocaine?
that pink cocaine is a combination of ecstasy and cocaine together. And
Interesting.
it's also known as, I guess, Tusi, whether you spell it as Tusi and or Tuci. Now, I'm getting this information. A number of media outlets are covering this story. I've so you can read this in all over the place. The most recent stuff seemed to be coming from XXL, Vibe, TheRoot.com, Rolling Stone. A number of other online magazines are covering this story. And supposedly, Young Miami's being accused. They even, according to this lawsuit, they even got Cuba Gooding Jr. involved
Wow.
and accusing him of touching this young man in
Hmm.
a way that the men don't want to be touched. Which, if it's true or if it's not true, it's an ugly mess.
Yeah.
Other people are being pulled into it as well by association to P. Diddy because he is, Bad Boy Records founder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's really an ugly, ugly affair. And I'm just going to say that if Homeland Security raids your home, that means something is there. And they're trying to build a case against you because they've gotten proof of something or somebody flipped or somebody said something and offered up evidence. Now, and I think that Rodney like we were talking about this earlier. My hypothesis for this is that I think Rodney Jones with the Diddy said, "Man, what'd you do? What did you do to me?" Because he's accusing him of being sexually molested by Diddy and some friends. P. Diddy probably said, "Who do you think you are? Don't come to me like that. Get out of here." So Jones probably threatened, "Oh, you think you did the lawsuit? Probably tried to settle it." Diddy said, "Just go away. You have no proof." Blah blah blah. And I think out of this lawsuit, Jones said, "Oh, you think I don't have proof? You want to admit what you did? I'll make you admit what you did." And the resulting of is this. Again, that's my mind spinning out of control. But I think something like that went down behind the scenes to get all this going. And what we have tonight is Diddy's attorney saying this is unnecessary use of military force on these raids, even though nobody was arrested or slightly detained, but no one's arrested. But what's interesting is that Diddy is in the U.S., but he's nowhere to be found.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one of those soap operas that you need your popcorn close because I think the more this unfolds, the more we're going to see some of our more successful Black people get taken down. Either it's all lies or there is some truth to this lawsuit. I don't know for sure, but I would just say keep your popcorn close because we're in for a bumpy ride with P. Diddy. Next, a tragic, tragic, tragic story that we saw unfold. Was it just last night this occurred?
No, not last night. I believe it was late Monday night, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you no, you're right. You're right. No, early Tuesday morning. Early Tuesday
Okay.
morning.
Okay.
It's been a very horrific 24 hours
Yeah.
for the Baltimore area. And if everyone doesn't know about, you know about the container tanker ship hitting the pylons on the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which crumpled the bridge. The tanker ship lost power. They put out a mayday call to warn everyone that they could not control the ship. It was moving in the direction of the bridge. Because of that mayday, they were able to stop the traffic getting onto the bridge, saving a number of lives. Unfortunately, in the seconds that all this occurred, no one warned the men who were working on filling the potholes on the bridge at the time of the accident. And those 6 men fell into the river, fell into the bay.
Mm,
Um, and it went from a search and rescue operation to a recovery operation as of late last night. And today, they last I saw, as we were about to record, they found 2 bodies in the bay.
mm.
Which is sad and
Oh
it's
yeah.
unfortunate. And there's a lot going on about this bridge. Now, this bridge is 100 years old. And I'm
Ooh.
sure if anyone has driven through Baltimore to get to DC, has driven across this bridge or has driven, it's a very, very busy bridge. And it is a lot of commerce happens on this bridge. A lot of people, go back and forth on this bridge. So there's going to be a lot of work around how to get across the city because a lot of people pass through this area, through Baltimore on this bridge. The bridge, the pylons are reinforced to up to a certain tonnage or impact because ships do cross underneath the bridge. And because the container ships have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, the force of this ship unable to stop, even though according to reports, the ship's crew tried as best they could to slow down the ship without power, and they still impacted the bridge. And because of that, they hit a pylon, and because of how the pylons are spaced along the bridge, a certain tonnage of impact collapsed the bridge instantly, even though it's been safe forever. So it's sad and unfortunate that this occurred. Unfortunately, the 6 men who were doing the filling the potholes were immigrants from Guatemala and the Dominican Republic. They were not warned when this occurred and they were thrown into the water.
So sad.
It's so sad. Like I said, they supposedly, when we started recording, 2 bodies have been found. But I don't see any story yet about it, but I saw a headline. So I just pray for their families, pray for the people, pray for the impact of this story. Now, there is another part of the story that has a very racist impact on it because the mayor of Baltimore is Black. He came out grieving. We're going to help the families, the usual what mayors say and do in a tragic situation.
Right.
Unfortunately, small minded individuals, instead of saying the N word, are now using DEI instead of the
Yeah, I've been
to
hearing about
to
that.
make comment. And I think it's unfortunate. This is a tragic situation. And, for people, lives were saved and lives were lost. And small minded people have turned this situation into a racist situation because they don't like who is speaking out about what's going on. And I think it's a tragedy that instead of now using the N word, they're getting around, all the language situations and using DEI. So I just want to bring that up in this situation, but we'll continue to update everyone as we hear more about the bridge collapse, the investigation, and hopefully they can recover the bodies of the 6 people so their families can be whole, bury them, and we'll see how they can recover from this incident.
Right.
Okay, so we go from tragedy to he said, she said, to Cincinnati's favorite day, opening day.
Yay, opening day.
Opening day for us is Thursday, March 28th. We have our opening day parade starting at Findlay Market, going down Race Street to Fifth Street, ending at the Taft Theater. It's going to start at noon. There are over 155 entrants into the parade. From what I understand, the streets start closing at 8 a.m. So if you're looking for parking and want to enjoy the day, you got to get down there early
Oh yeah.
because you will find that there you won't be able to get to certain streets. And Cincinnati is a very one-way street city.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be. I don't know what buses that have been routed. I don't know how you're going to be able to get around. But like I said, for those women who are going to the Duke Energy Center on opening day, oh my, it's going to
Ye-
be interesting.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see what the Reds do. They're playing, I believe, the Nationals in the opening day game, which is going to be at 4 o'clock. I'm sorry, the first pitch is scheduled for at 4:10. Yeah, they are taking on the Nationals. It is a 3-game series. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully they will win on opening day. Though in the past they have lost opening day, but hopefully we're going to keep positive. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, or whatever structure you have with you, that we get off to a great start. From what I understand, the grand marshals for the parade are Dimitri Young and Pokey Reese, who were great Reds baseball players. This is the 104th, by the way, opening day parade. So just think how long this tradition has been going on.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It really is.
Other notables that will be in the parade is Kevin Huber, Marini Brenneman, Anthony Munoz, Jim Scott from WLW, if everyone remembers Jim Scott from the radio days of when you would get up in the morning and listen to him as he brought the news and the weather report and other good information. He will also, believe he's the honorary grand marshal of the parade, and he'll be there as well if he can make it, because he's not doing his health is not as good as it used to be. But that is what's happening in Cincinnati. It's opening day. And it is going to be interesting, and I hope for the best. I do have a list of who is playing right now. Second base is Jonathan India. Ellie De La Cruz is going to play. Spencer Steer, Jake Fraley, Jeremiah Candelero, Christian. You know what? I hate it when people have these long names. Christian E. Strand. I can't pronounce his middle name. Will Benson, Stuart Fairchild, and Tyler Stevenson are going to be the starting players for the team, and then we'll see who's going to come out swinging, who's going to come out throwing. And, it's just they supposedly they did a lot of work. They won a few games in spring training, so we'll just keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And that is all the chocolate news for today. Oh, wait, you know what? I forgot one more thing.
Oh, what is it?
Have happy Easter
Yo,
to
yeah.
everyone.
No, yeah. Happy Easter. Yeah, it's this Sunday. It's early this year.
It's early this year.
Yeah.
So everyone who's having Easter egg hunt, I hope you're successful in finding your Easter eggs. And for everyone else, have a blessed and wonderful Easter. Or are we still in the middle of Ramadan too?
I
I believe we
believe
are.
so, but I would
So,
have to
and
check
then I
the.
wish everyone, if you're still celebrating Ramadan, have a wonderful Ramadan as well. And Passover is coming up soon as well. But right
Right.
now, happy Easter, everyone, and hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely check out our website because there are plenty of Easter egg hunts. Like there's one in Washington Park. They got one in Cincinnati Zoo. They got plenty of Easter services. So just go to our website and under the events tab and make sure you check that out. So that's it for today's show. I want to thank Andrea again for all the great chocolate news. Thank you so much, Andrea.
You're welcome.
And remember, folks, you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. I'm John Alexander Reese,
And I'm Andrea Carter.
and have a good day.